I need to tell everyone what happened at Drake's Spine, and I'm going to need Otto's help.
Trouble with your gear, or something falling in, do you? Anything else?
First the skies, then the crystal. What next? Delete that.
Did you know that it was I who convinced His Imperial Highness to join you in stone here? All right, it may be that he was of a mind to do so already, but it was I who told him where you'd be.
There's something about it. I feel like it's calling to me.
Still alive, I see. Something tells me that I saw on the horizon is your doing. How'd you manage that?
It's a long story. One that I'd rather only tell once.
Right. All hands on deck.
Is this everyone? As I'm sure you've all guessed, the crystal which now commands the eastern skies was summoned by Ultima. He called it Origin. Though the significance of that name is as yet unclear.
What does it matter what it's called? Its emergence tore Twinside asunder and wiped my homeland from the map.
Mention of the Dominion spires can be found in the oldest of Valisthian records. But to the best of my knowledge, none provide any hint as to their true nature. That they would prove the horns of some slumbering demon. Well,
the Dominion's demise was at least quick. Elsewhere, the Republican army cannot hope to contain the chaos engulfing Randalar. Canva is in flames, and the Empire.
Our allies are crying out for answers. I've sent the Cursebreakers to give them what assurances we can, but right now that amounts to fuck all.
They wouldn't be able to stop what the skies have started in any case. People here and across the realm grow sicker with every passing day.
Could it be that this new Mother Crystal is like the others? That it draws upon the land's ether? It certainly looked that way from stone here.
If that were true, it would explain the hastening spread of the Blight since the crystal's appearance. Would it not?
And as the land's ether slowly rises to the surface, it pools, corrupting all who cannot channel its energies. Archay above, ether floods below, and in the middle, here we languish, hopelessly entrapped.
we faced him at Stone here, Ultima told us his true power quickens in the halls of origin. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to continue. If we are to stop him, we will have to find a way into the crystal.
How are we going to manage that then? It's up in the sky. And fast as she is, the Enterprise can't fly.
It's a lot to take in, and I reckon we'd all benefit from some time to clear our heads. The answer will come to us. Don't you worry. Ain't that right, Clive?
Right. That's right.
Well, go on then. Bugger off. Same goes for you, Clive. You won't solve anything like this. Trust me. Go and get some fresh air, eh?
Thank you. Joshua seemed upset. Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place, where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be, but a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it, it won't be easy. It may take generations, centuries of suffering. And that is, if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
You can barely stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. Are you certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must, yes? I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are.
And what of my wings? Lest you forget, you go to stand against a god. I would not have you succumb to fatigue before the fight begins. Ifrit. Your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. but their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for.
We are in your debt, Dion.
We can speak of debts when this is over.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. And has come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to, does it, Clive?
Time to talk to Jill. I only hope you understand.
Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
I'll be waiting.
It's almost time. Better make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Something tells me this is no mere adventure. What is it?
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved.
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman.
From what little I saw.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimate, the realm's armies, and as you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman. Certain cities have banded together to try and yet, the only remedy for... In short, if Storm does not...
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among... Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine, but I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. And as luck would have it, I've already
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one, Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle. And I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course. But the old... You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do it. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person...
That's the...
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell...
Excellent.
No.
Good morrow to you, my friend. I have a few new notes that might interest you. You wish to study the tomes?
Ah, Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong?
I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have
his will.
In the crypt, beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy, and in the process of doing so, they found...
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been...
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I'm...
Sid, do you have him?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found... and something else. Records from a Waluda prison.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When Ether started...
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned... And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Walud, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than...
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception. But when we stay no longer than we have to, Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can.
Thank you, Sid. There... Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit walls. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers.
As do I, Doris.
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Cursebreakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy. which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation.
I don't mind, but why this one?
Because our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Garrett. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the traits in him that we should look for in...
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the boys' test, then?
One can never have two...
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending his trial, and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in ready.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
What do you think happened to Miss...
Sid, you have to help us.
With what? You didn't take...
No. Well, yes.
It's Miss Mididol. She's been acting very strange.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a...
In the cloud.
That's what I said. In the clouds.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. When did you last see her?
Not long ago.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way there and...
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? You really should be more careful around Miss Mididol's in... Oh, don't listen to her. Even if you did break the Enterprise...
But who's gonna put Miss Mididol back together? She seems really sad.
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that? She's in her dungeon.
Don't scare him. It's not...
Thanks for the warning.
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid, may...
Of course.
It is an honor to finally speak with you. My name is Herman. I wish to be deployed to Ash.
No. The lands across the Narrow are too... I will not send good men and women to risk their lives needlessly. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. I was raised in an orphan, or rather... It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn barren. We were tortured until we feared no pain. And few ever survived long enough to become tools.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many. But they must be remembered. They cannot fade away. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child measured. Every name Sid, allow me to travel to Ash.
You were a good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Sid, please.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. I'll go to Bad Bach and find the registry.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life.
I don't know.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
Vida Grace. Hidden.
All right.
May the mothers guide you.
Has Mididol mentioned a new project yet?
Mid, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will.
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. I've discovered how to do... well, almost. First I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is but if a godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to... First I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Order. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer...
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the curse breakers will know where you might find...
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well. Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters. It's doubly hard in being a frost wolf. Torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want my iron gone? You find what it is you... I reckon what he were looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belt.
Your kindness is appreciated.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on.
Where to then, Torgal?
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen her...
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking wet. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in... To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there. Vivian, I read you and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy.
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom, and it's only right that I return the favor. Or at least...
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather... I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found. But perhaps it is best that you hear...
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, but this book... It set me on the path to becoming who I am to...
All right, Sid. Come to...
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered your share of beasts on your travels across...
Most bones are the same. Whack 'em hard enough and they'll break. If it's durability you're looking for, shell will serve you better. You know what an adamantus is?
I do. And I know to give them a wide berth. Will any old adamantus do?
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Carava, Nerul, but don't expect to make quick work of the bastard. There's a reason it's lived as long as it has.
I'll keep that in mind.
Clive, my boy.
Harpocrates. I've been charged with locating a book called...
And you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to... You've been talk...
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what...
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has... I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does a tale which could overturn the established order, or so rumor has it. I've never actually read the...
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why? Secrecy. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or...
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a sick. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. Rumors of the executors are rife among us, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark, but though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves. If you were, by some chance...
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay gun. Good girl. Faster! Thanks, girl. It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious.
You two go on without me. I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure. We won't... Hop in, boy. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well, well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right, all right. I think I know where we're going. People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you, but without it, we wouldn't be who we are today, and we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home. Sorry for the wait. We're ready. Needs oil. After what happened here. Miracle there was any left at all. This should be enough. Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
Who do you think?
I'm nervous. Well met, Sid. This is the initiate. Ember?
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here.
Oh, of course. Thank you. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the danger.
I am. But I swore I'd face him. Just like the man who saved...
Who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav was.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine cursebreaker.
So...
You haven't even started yet. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to... and bring it here.
And bring it here, right.
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But
on my way. All right, Ember. Impress me. Ready, go?
Yeah!
These are clean kills. Perhaps young Emma really is ready. Or maybe not. Damn it.
Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run!
If you want him, you'll have to go through me.
Go, Torgal!
Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare... But...
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
I thought he must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. But by the time he was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he'd set off.
I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like
the right man for the job. I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Eh? How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you there, Nazaire. And he did...
But Sid, he
did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide...
Of course. We'll await your... Don't you leave my sight.
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision.
What does the dame have to say about all this, I wonder?
I would speak with this Duke.
Saw the captain just now. He's wearing his uniform. Your town needs you. I need you. The Duke would have
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizens' watch to fill the void. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for body. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep.
Of course. Whatever you need.
Thank you, Clive. Philippe told me he had men state...
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
My name is Sabine. And it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. I trust you'll forgive me, Clive.
Absolutely.
Please.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his every action. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his reckless plans. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. No. He must be made to face the consequences of his actions.
And who would make him do this?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden and dispossessed. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced, but he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her... He's all scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk, and we must fight him.
Fight him? No. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet...
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother you no longer. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But unfortunately for us, that spirit, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. Not that she cares. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry, where were we? Ah, yes. I was about to but perhaps it's better that you heard them from him. I believe he's in the market.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you.
Your town needs you. I need you. But the Duke would have... Saw the captain just now. He wasn't wearing his uniform.
What does the dame have to say about all this, I wonder?
This is my father's store.
So you are content to abandon... Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only... Thank you so much for your...
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some...
Oh, she did she? Right, as always. In fact, we've had some reports, you see.
So they're back.
Seems that way. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing, you could go and see what's...
Right.
You know Grieger's Weep?
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's...
No use calling Ambrosia now.
Faster!
Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
This one. Second. Get him. Second. Over here. You're finished. Now, Torgal. Get him. Get him! This one! Over here! Go for this one! You lose!
Call that it?
Clive! It's... You all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, there's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from the north last time. We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other, but from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople. Stirring up ill feeling to...
What? I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town, scream.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Grieger wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Branded.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Grieger.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, Let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone...
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of meds. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to...
Thank you, milady.
I'll play my part too. You still want for numbers. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the...
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I've fought a few of these things. And while I can't promise to hold them all back, I should be able to thin the hurt.
All right.
Thank you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
When the fighting begins...
I want steel in the hands of every man.
So many of them.
Not for long.
Is it over?
No. It's only just begun.
Get him! This. Get him! Over here! Get him!
That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least.
You were right, and I was wrong. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart, to be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right, as did you, Sabine. His Radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how how I felt.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This, I should have listened to you.
Your Eminence, your Ladyship. I do not doubt, but I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, and we may yet achieve it. If only we work. Will you join us in this?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to any, and today there are more than ever before.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul. Indeed, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the
You're right. If only I'd listened.
Forgive me for saying so, my lady. But the dame said it herself. We can turn things around. And that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you?
Well said, Captain. Let this be a new beginning. Not only...
Well, since I should see if Isabel needs any help.
Can we get you anything? There's no need to worry any longer.
I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
How goes the treatment of the wound? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
You've helped quite enough.
Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town, it is...
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? A woman of your means could find a home anywhere in the realm, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. I was Carla then. Courtesan to the... So sought after was I that it was only they who... Alas, those halcyon days were not... For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard. The gentlest man. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, until we found ourselves here. It was the veil that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away.
He did. Not, but at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Though I was still a stranger to them, they treated me like a sister. And so that I would return the kind, that I would repay my debt.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter, all united in defense of this town. That we have come. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
Do you see that too?
Papa?
What is it? Please, just make it stop.
I'm scared.
Ready, go?
It can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight.
Allow me.
I don't need your... Please, Field Marshal.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
It's over! Now, Torgal!
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the... It's a fucking Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord, Mark, or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to, but in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps you are no I never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. We will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat, and I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your...
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This... someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince...
Faster!
Caution, brother.
No holding back. Here we are again. Carava. If you were a tortoise, Torgor, where would you hide? Thanks, Gal. Looks like we found him. this one. Get him. Over here. Over here. Get him. Get him. Get him! Sick him! Get him! I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype.